everyone, whoever is here. I just want to say welcome to our most amazing group ever. Today I am live with my favorite, my soul sister, my amazing angel, the one and only that always puts, like, she just knows me. And it's amazing how wonderful she is. And she captures my heart every single time. Angelique Kearsley. Welcome, Angelique.
Hello, my love. Welcome, everyone, whoever's there. I just want to say thank you for having me, Nish. And it's truly such an honor, my friend. It really is. This is why I love you. I truly love you so much because you give people like myself a platform to truly be themselves, to shine, because we tend to get so caught up in what we do and how we serve that we forget to celebrate ourselves. So thank you from the very depths of my soul. I'm so grateful and I love you.
Oh my God, it is the most amazing thing ever. I remember this journey from the moment I started this podcast, Fit Inspired Mama. I started the journey to really talk about myself and to show you where I've gotten from path to path. And then it was about, inspiring other women to come out and speak their truth and just be who they are. And then I kept on going with all this other stuff. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, why am I not going back to allowing women or men or anyone to come and express themselves and show the world what they're doing and how they're helping others? Why not? Right? So
Amen.
This is why I have you here today, because I wanted to start off with my angel, with one of my favorite friends, a soul sister, Angelique, to be who she is. So Angelique, I want you to just introduce yourself to every single person here that's going to be watching live. I have my sister here online right now.
Beautiful.
Almira's here. She said hi to you, and I'm excited that she's here watching too as well, because I think she would enjoy some of that. Anyways, yes, please go ahead and introduce yourself, and let's get started.
Absolutely. And Nish, just, if there's anything more depth that you want, please just let me know, okay?
Oh, I'm going to go right into depth.
I feel we're going to get really, really deep. So if you got your tissues with you, make sure you got those. But yes, so thank you so much, my love. As you said, Angelique Barlow Kearsley, that's me. And I am an intuitive reader, and as well as a Usui Reiki master. But if you want to break that down, I am a psychic medium, which I use all my abilities in my readings. But if we go, backtrack, I am, as you can hear, I'm South African, and that's where I was born and raised. And we've had quite a long journey, from leaving South Africa down to the United Kingdom, from the United Kingdom to the United States. And we have traveled 3 states, and that would be New Jersey, Texas, and now Florida. And this is where we reside. And we've had such an incredible journey because along the way, we've really met amazing souls who have contributed to who I am today and who my family are today. So that's essentially, where I come from, where we've been. And here I am, fast forward, in my 40s, really starting to uncover who I am and, my purpose at this point in time in my life. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's who I am.
Absolutely amazing, Angelique. I remember when you and I had connected as well. You were able to pull out a few cards and be able to find direct connection through whatever it is that I'm going through by not even knowing who I was. So it was very intrigued to actually find that calling with you. And I really like that kind of environment, especially when somebody that's close to you that's able to see and feel those same things that you're feeling. So that's why I brought you here. I want you to, I would love to talk about how you connect with your clients, basically. So how do you tap into their intuition and allow your cards to read through you? How do you do that?
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you brought this up, Nish, because this is something that, you don't really talk about when you're doing this kind of work, because people just, book you online and they want to talk about, where they are, their purpose. And especially in today's age, I find like the new age community, we don't really understand the word tuition. So if I may, I would love to just give you my perspective. Okay.
Yes,
now, to me, intuition is your soul. It is your higher self, and it is within you. It is not detached from you. Okay. And that essentially is, I find, where a lot of people are forming this detachment to themselves, is they're looking outside of themselves, not looking within themselves. And this is what I try and, really help my clients understand, that all their power is within them. So, your intuition's your soul. It is your unique expression of who you are. It is your direct line to God, to source, because God and source is within us every single minute of every time. We are omnipresent. Okay. And, when we become fluent in this beautiful frequency of intuition, and we learn how to tap into it, that is our direct line to source, to our guides, to our ancestors, to who we truly are. It's our own expression, and it's our higher self, this specific essence, that is living through us right now in this lifetime. Okay. And when you tap into that, it uncovers, and you can download such an immense amount of beautiful gifts and information. And this is how I tap into my clients. I use my intuition, which is my soul, and purely connecting with their soul. Okay, so it's intuition to intuition, soul to soul. And there are obviously numerous ways, the tools that I use to connect with their soul. So do you want me to dive into that?
Yeah, please do. Go for it.
Okay, so in our typical, as human beings, we have, how we go about through life and really experience life is through our five senses. Okay, so our five senses are touch, taste, hear, see, and smell. Now, when you're moving into the intuitive side, the psychic side, your psychic senses come to life. And your psychic senses are your clear cognizant, which is a clear knowing. And the typical saying, I don't know how I know, but I just know, So, and this clear cognizant, it's literally a thought that just goes, bloop, drops into your head. And that's why when we chat and through the cards, I just know. So it's literally my soul connecting with you, and you cannot even prove it. You cannot justify it. It just happens. That's how beautiful and strong and clear energy is. Okay. Then you get your clairvoyancy, which is your clear seeing. And when you start out, it starts out where you just go and you see energy. It could be 2 colors, 3 colors, and these energies, they dance with each other. Now, when we expressing this and feeling this, we really have to quiet our mind. We have to find a space where we can be still. Because if we're not still, we're not going to be able to get in tune with our intuition. Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's the clairvoyancy is you get to see that first, and then it sort of progresses. So the more you practice, the more you get to see. So you can start off with energy. Then for me, it moved into, those olden day reels, the black and white pictures.
Yeah.
I started seeing that. And I'll never forget when I came into this whole new energetic way of being. I went to a friend's house in New Jersey, and it was a very, very old home. And I was always laying in bed. I closed my eyes, and I just kept on seeing these black and white people, just speaking to me consistently. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And these were souls that were connecting with me, but I didn't know what was going on. So that's how it can come up. And then the more you practice that muscle to see, that's when the mediumship starts to come in, where you really get to see objects, you get to see evidence of people, souls that have crossed over. So, it's a really, really phenomenal clear sense to use when you're connecting with your clients. So you get the clairvoyancy, and then you get the clairaudience, which is the clear hearing. And a lot of people, they'll say, oh, I hear this, or, oh, I'm hearing someone say this. So this is truly your soul. This is your soul speaking to you. And 10 times out of 10, it's going to be your voice. You are hearing your voice talking to you because you have kept your ego brain busy. So now your soul, your intuition can talk through you, and you're aware of it. Now, for me, it's usually my right ear where I hear my soul speaking to me. And yes, I do get full apparition, vocal, hey, you, wake up. if somebody really wants to get my attention, or I'll be walking in the store, I'm like, hey, how are you? And so, that does come, and just don't be afraid of that, because it's really souls resonating with your beautiful energetic energy, which, please also remember, like attracts like. So you'll only attract beautiful, loving beings. Okay. So that is your clairaudient. Then you get your clair. I think the next one is the clairsentient, which is the clair feeling. And a lot of my empathetic people that are starting on the soul journey, that is one of their most dominant senses that come through. And it's literally where you can feel someone's pain, you can feel someone's hurt, you can feel a change in the energy. And especially with, recently we've had this amazing 5D resonance come in, the electromagnetic resonance of the earth. And when you feel it, your body responds because it's 3D. So, that's also how I connect with my clients. I can feel their pain. I can feel what they're going through. But it's so important to always remember to not carry that with you. Being empathetic, you need to learn what's yours and what's not yours, and carry what is yours with you. And always make sure you disconnect from your client, because it's unbelievable how it can manifest in your body. And I'm sure if you speak to somebody that's not in a really good place, you're connecting with that energy. So you're harboring that energy within you. You're taking it to your home. So energy is extremely powerful. So it's always important to make sure you disconnect. And by disconnecting is just a quick slap.
No, it's a very huge way of actually learning to do that. It's funny you say that now, because when I was learning to do it, I would take people's energy in and think that I'm the problem. And I kept on saying that, thinking like, what's wrong with me? What's happening to me? And then until I kind of learned to ask myself questions, I think it was like, okay, so is there something wrong with me right now? Take a deep breath. Is there something wrong? And I'll take a deep breath and I'll start to think about everything that I'm loving and enjoying at this moment. And then I'll realize, okay, but there is nothing wrong with me. So why am I feeling that way? Then I've started to realize it's the other person that's feeling it maybe. And you are just taking the energy. So I'll ask that person, is everything okay with you today? Are you okay? Is there something you need to tell me, or something that you want us to talk about? And then that person will just like, oh my God, Nish, I'm feeling distracted because this happened last night, that happened. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. It's, I'm feeling this. Oh my God, I have to ask myself the questions first. And nowadays, I see it in their face already. Like I already see the connection on their face, and I'll turn around. I'm like, okay, I'm okay. I know it's them. Let them figure it out. And if they want to talk about it, they will. And if they don't, just know it's not you, it's them. And so I've figured that part out.
Right. Beautiful.
Have you ever seen those things where it happens where you're texting a friend and that message comes back and you're like, whew, what happened? Why do I feel this rush of like, she's either rushing me out or she's being rude, or it was like a weird message that just came back to you? Like, I didn't expect this kind of message, right?
Yeah.
It happened to me yesterday with a friend, and I'm just like, okay, Nish, it's not you. I know it's not you. It's not you. Just relax, take it easy. It's her. And then when I went back to her to go and give her whatever I needed to give her with the text, she tells me after what happened and everything that happened around her. And I'm thinking there, I'm like, I get it. Now I got why the message felt so distracting. So yes, I get that. So thank you. It's a really big step, a learning step, and it's a very difficult learning step. So until you get that step and you ask yourself questions and a journal, I think it's a very difficult way of capturing.
Exactly. And love this. And this is also why I mention all these things in my readings, and try and make people aware of these specific psychic senses, because if you don't know, you truly feel like there's something wrong with you. And, also it triggers an immense amount of trauma in you. And you can carry on days and days, feeling, what is wrong with me? And, it has a ripple effect into your relationship. So that's why having a mentor or having someone guide you is so important, especially if you're starting on this journey. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is a really, really beautiful point. And I'm so proud of you, girl. High five.
Yeah. There is one though, I'll tell you, a few days ago. It's actually been a few days. I've been tired. I've been exhausted. I don't know. I guess maybe I didn't sleep well, or maybe I'm going through mood swings. I don't know. There's something around that's happening, right? And I think my husband picks up my signals. He's very empathetic, that he picks it up, but then he has his own way of reacting, and that pisses me off. So when I feel it and I know that he's reacting towards me, I know it's me, it's not him. I know I'm the problem because I know it's me, but how do I fix it? There's days where even a little bit of calmness is still like this fire or something that's inside of me that's telling me like, get away from me. I don't want anything. And that ripple effect goes on for days until I start to get feeling better and I change my habits. And then I realize that things kind of change. So I think in this situation, I'm so glad you brought it up, because I think those are the ripple effects that people don't understand. They're always blaming others for problems that they're having, but rather it's their problems that need to be solved before. It's like the quote that they say, change yourself before you change others.
Exactly. Beautiful. Yeah. And you know, Nish, and this is why it's also so important to do your inner work, because you know, when you do your inner work, you really become aware of your emotions. And this is why it's also important to, you know, really learn how to use energy, how to manipulate energy. That's why Reiki was such a huge tool for me to learn. And it saved my relationship with my husband, because everything was his problem. Everything was his I'd say issue. Okay, it was never my issue, but the actual problem was I was in complete victimhood mentality. Okay, I was blaming him for every single thing because, oh, poor me. Why would someone do that to me? You know, but the actual fact was I was the one with the issues, not him.
That's right.
And when you're aware of this and understand where you're coming from, you do the inner work, and it's triggers from past trauma. It's triggers from generational lineage that, you know, you've been conditioned to believe. And only, you know, when you grow up, it's actually your responsibility to fix, not even fix yourself, heal yourself. Really understand why you being triggered. Why am I so unhappy? Why am I so jealous? Why am I just, you know, going through all these emotions? It starts when you were little.
It's so
That's
true.
where it
Yes.
starts. So it's up to us to decondition the hurts, the subservience. It's, you know, to decondition. For me, especially, it was, you know, being very subservient, and we weren't allowed to be heard or seen. So that messed me up for the rest of my life, as well as a whole bunch of, you know, I grew up in a very toxic environment. There was a lot of physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse. So, you know, when you're that small, that's what you think normal is. Okay. And then when you grow up, you start to think that's normal. But in actual fact, your nervous system is on alert all the time. You cannot sleep. You cannot gauge decent relationships. And I always had issues in my relationships until I met my husband, then, who was my boyfriend. And he, you know, came from a very conservative family. And I just couldn't understand how people could be so normal. It's like, what, you're not gonna get, you know, beat because you answered your mom.
Yeah.
It's like you're not gonna, your mom's not gonna, you don't have a bag at the door ready to, you know, get in the car when your father wants to, you know, beat your mom. I'm like, what, how's that not normal? And so it really, you know, brought so many emotions and so much healing to the fore. And after I started doing that, you know, your typical dark night of the soul, where you crack completely open and you just let go of all that conditioning, and you start learning who you truly are, because your soul speaks to you. And when that happens, you truly adopt the mentality. And please, anyone who's sensitive to foul language, please forgive me, but you know, you adopt that mentality, the fuck it mentality. And that's truly how I go through my life. It's like, fuck it, you know, what do I have to lose? They don't like me, It's okay. That's who I am. And, it's learning to say no. It's learning to be okay if no one agrees with you. It's learning to be open and honest with your partner, knowing that, you know what, if he doesn't like it, he probably won't, but he's probably not going to leave you. He's not going to abandon you.
Hopefully
Open with it.
not. And
Yeah.
I always say to myself, I'm like, if he does, well then that's a pizza,
I
baby.
know.
We cannot stop anything from happening.
Correct. Yeah.
What we can do is stop from the way that we feel and be who we are. I think that's one of the other biggest lessons I've learned in my life is I cannot stop what happens around me. All I can do is be happy and peaceful and grateful for what's around me right now. What happens tomorrow, what happens in a few days, I have no control over that. I can just control myself. And as long as I am controlling myself, I say this to my kids, I say this to my husband, I can only control myself. You can only control yourself. What you do are the choices that you make in your life. I can't control your choices. Those are your choices. But there's one thing I can say is I am so happy. And I think that's another lesson is how happy are you within yourself? And that comes with everything you're saying right now.
Absolutely. And you know what? Happiness, you cannot marry someone to make you happy. You cannot count on a house to make you happy.
Well,
your happiness.
did I wish that was one time? I was like,
I thought it did, but you know what? It didn't.
no.
I had to fix myself up. I had to fix whatever issues I had, with material and scarcity. And, once I worked through that, that's when I came to understand that your true happiness is within you and to not attach yourself to an outcome. Because when you attach yourself to that specific outcome, you're going to be disappointed if it doesn't work out the way you wanted it to, right? So yeah.
You are absolutely amazing. I love every bit of what you bring in here. I was listening to this audiobook too as well just recently right now, and the audiobook said something to me and it asks me, who am I? And if I ask any one of those questions to anybody, who am I? Everyone say, oh, my name is this, I do this, I do this, I do this, I'm this, I was that, I did all this, and now I got a degree. But you realize it's like, yeah, you're asking you who you are in this world, but who are you exactly? It's like, that's when you realize that the outside world is just an illusion. You yourself are an internal being and an eternal soul, or you can say energy or whatever it is that you feel that you are. But you yourself are the speck of energy that is just there trying to live in a body that's living in this life, but we still need to realize who we truly are within ourselves. That's what it is, and it's such a beautiful way of looking at it. And sometimes I was just talking to the universe, and I said yesterday, I'm like, honestly, is this a freaking test? Because why can't you just tell me what I need to do so I can do it? Like, just tell me what my purpose is, and so I'll walk that path. Like, why do you keep on telling us to, figure it out or whatever? Just tell me, Nish, this is why you're here. This is what you need to get done. Just go get it done. I'll go get it done.
Oh my God.
I'll go get it done.
If it was that easy, honestly, this world would be a different place. The truth is we are born into this world unconscious of who we truly are. We get amnesia because...
Do you think that that's normal though? Or do you think it's supposed to happen? Or do you think it's just because we just become so worldly, like we just become amused with this world that we've just forgotten who we are?
So, my perspective is love. And, from all the things that I've read and experienced, and this is just my take, right? So we are born because, think about it, we are five-dimensional and above beings. So we're pure energy. Mm-hmm. And our brains at the moment cannot really comprehend that. Okay. So when you are born into this 3D body, this suit, also you sign a contract with your soul and your beautiful family, and you have specific desires and journeys to fulfill. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you knew that when you were born, what's the point of coming here? You know, we have to experience this journey. We have to learn the journey. And we're born through this amnesia. And, you know, we sign up, okay, I'm going to get this family. I'm going to learn these lessons. And this is how I'm going to help and serve and fulfill my purpose later on in life. Okay. Now, we don't just have one purpose. We have many purposes. Each and every single moment, your purpose truly is just to be.
Just answered my question.
Okay.
Thank you.
And this is where I was going wrong all my life. It's like, who am I? What am I supposed to do? What's my purpose?
Thank you.
You okay?
I don't know. My phone just went off and it's talking like, it's like echoing. I think the universe is trying to tell me, here's your answer. And you're asking me again, here's your answer.
Exactly. And, you know, just quickly, this is also, I get a lot of women like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what my purpose is. And the truth is, your purpose right here and now is just to be a mother, just to be a wife, just to be the best, most expansive, most limitless human being possible. Because you are a cosmic being having a human experience. That is what we're here to do.
It's a learning lesson, right? So a few months ago, I said, stop to myself, stop, go back, figure it out. And it's like, what has life given to you right now? What has life given to you right now? Look at yourself and assess yourself in the situation that you're in. What is it that life given to you that you cannot change? Even if you try to change it, you can't change it, right? And he's given me two beautiful girls. He's given me a home, and he's allowed me to stay at home so I could do what I'm doing and also be there with the kids, take them to school, bring them home. And I think my purpose is to really, really be with them right now. They need me the most right now. And it's not like as if I wanted it to be like this. It was just taken and there it is. This is your purpose right now. What are you fighting about? Why are you fighting it? And I've sat down with my husband a couple of times. I said, okay, I might go back to work. So this is what I want to do. And then he's looking at me and he's like, okay, so if you go back to work, we're going to have to pay this much and this much for the kids to go on like after school activities, or not activities, like, you know, pick up from after school. And by the time they come back or whatever, you have to pick them up. So you haven't spent all day with them. You're tired, exhausted. Now the amount that you're going to make, it's going to go to them. And so you're not really making enough money for yourself. You're just making it so that they could, you know, go and get picked up after school. Do you really need to go to work? And, you know, at a point in my life, I was just like, I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it so much that all of a sudden I had to sit down and ask myself those questions, just like how you're saying it to me. And analyze your life. What are you fighting? What are you doing that you're trying to do and it's not working because that's not where your purpose. What's your purpose? That's so easy. It's so clear. It's so peaceful. It's so perfect. It's happiness. It's there. It's just there. And yet you're looking outside for all these other things that you want. It's there. Come on, Nishma. What is your purpose? And Angelique, it took me 4 months to realize that Nish, this is your purpose. And there's other things that are also helping you that make you feel so good. What is that? It's to bring these women, these men, and these women that want to be noticed in life. And if I can just bring them out there for others to listen to hear, and just brighten up their little story and take them into another corner of other women to listen to. That's something I've really enjoyed doing. So when I look at you, when you say those things, my answer to my purpose that I asked yesterday, and I looked up and what's my purpose? Like, well, what is it? Because I just give it to me, just tell me what it is, and life would be more easier. But that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Analyze your life.
Yeah. And also just, it's okay to do nothing.
Yes, thank you for saying that.
Because my love, since I've known you, I am like, Okay, Nish, gotta slow down. Gotta slow down. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, oh dear, she's not listening. Okay, so I'm just gonna let her do what she needs to do. And that's how you learn. That's how we learn. And when you really quiet your mind and
Yeah.
the universe stops you, when it's time to slow down, rather hear your soul whisper than scream. Because when it screams, it's not always great. Okay. And that's when it manifests in the body. And that's when I see a lot of, women coming to me with ailments and stuff like this. So what is happening to you right now is you finally understanding and you starting to listen, which is beautiful. And, it's okay, especially I've noticed the past 6 months, the energy has been excessively heavy. And we are going through this huge, huge upgrade. And some of our bodies are really struggling with it, the fear, the anxiety, and the letting go. So what is happening is Mother Earth, I mean, it's a living being. And it can sense when the earth is going through so much trial and tribulations. And she does like to just cleanse herself. And this is why the huge magnetic resonance is happening, because she wants us to purge this fear, this anxiety, this judgments, and anger, so we can start coming back to basis, to love. And this is where, because truly, when we're in a loving state, a loving frequency, we cannot hate. We cannot judge. Hate and all these lower vibrational frequencies are taught. So that's where I feel there's been a huge change coming in. And that's why you've had this slowing down, because your body physically slowed you down. It physically slowed you down where, okay, I surrender. I'm listening. And that's what happened to me. I could only eat fruits and very light food because my body was purging. So saying that, you listened, and that is so incredibly important. Always slowing down and understanding that there is a bigger purpose, but it doesn't have to happen now.
Yeah.
Right now, this is where I am. My girls, for instance, your sake, your girls is where you are right now. Just release that ego side of the brain.
So hard.
It needs to keep busy. So whether you read a book, whether you exercise, while you're doing that is such an important task, to keep that monkey brain busy, that primitive side of your brain, so your soul can start to speak through you. And, how do you connect with this intuition is, through oracle cards. It's through, creativity. Creativity is such an amazing tool to connect with yourself, because you're giving, for instance, just journey, you got a pen and paper, your ego, your primitive brain is writing, but it allows your soul to come through so you hear it clearer. So it's all about practice, practice, practice. Because truly practice doesn't make perfect, it makes progress. And when we progress, we learn to trust in our ability to perform that specific task or purpose. So, just listen. Just listen, 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 listen.
Just amazing. I love that you connect like that with all your clients. I love that you bring those into when you talk to your clients. You have told me those a couple of times to slow down. You've taken cards out and you've seen that I'm always rushing into things until I realize that I'm overdoing it. Doesn't matter how many people tell you. Sometimes it's just like, I'm fine. But it is a very good way of, listening and understanding that it's coming, but you need to take your time and let things happen on its own. There was one, I think Jennifer Jade used to say it too, goes, when it's meant for it to happen to you, it's like as if it just lands onto your lap.
Yes.
You don't have to fight for it.
No.
If it's meant for you, it'll land right on your lap, and it'll continue to take you in that path without you fighting for it. And that is something that you need to understand. There's a lot of fear based in that too as well, but sometimes that fear is strong enough to tell you, you can still do it. You can still do it. You can do it, and so thank you so much for that, to reminding us that, stop, observe, and just wait and take your time. It's okay not to do anything. So I love that.
And breathe. Breathing is a big thing. Reconnecting to your heart is so vitally important, because we're born with breath, and most of us only breathe shallow breaths, which is really not helping us. Our nervous system is not completely replenishing. So deep breath calms us and it helps us to connect. So yeah.
So, if there were ways that you could be more mindful, ways that you can listen to your own instincts, can you give us a few examples of what we can do to really listen to our instincts, our inner side, and just give us a more mindful way of doing things, if you have any ideas?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you can literally, for instance, if you're starting to feel, well, just an example, okay, if you listen to a beautiful piece of music, beautiful, you connect with this music and you get goosebumps.
Yeah.
Okay. When you get goosebumps, that is purely a frequency that your soul remembers. And that is a great indication that you are clairsentient. So you are good with your clear feeling. Okay. So be aware of these kind of things. And also, like when you get butterflies in your stomach, that is your soul speaking to your ego saying, oh my God, don't do it, keep small. But your soul is saying, you know what, you're going to be okay. You're going to take this fear and turn it into courage. You're going to be okay. So these are simple examples where your soul speaks to you and comes to play. And once again, that's clairsentience. So, just be mindful of how you feel most connected to your soul. How, does music tend to give you goosebumps? Do you find yourself really, enjoying art, being creative? Does that light your soul up? It's all about what lights your soul up. What brings you joy? What gives you that immense amount of, yes, I love doing this. This is where we find our passions, but at the same time, it helps us to connect with our soul. So, and a good way to also start is really start, get an oracle card deck or even a tarot deck, and, go to the store or even online, and heyhouse.com is a fabulous site to, get your first starter oracle card deck. They also have a lot of 50% off discounts. So it's, financially affordable. And you got a great array, a great variety. So, take that deck and connect with it. And every morning before you start your day, or even while you're having your coffee, be mindful of connecting with that deck.
Yeah.
Shuffle it, and just like, what does my soul want me to know today? What does my soul want me to know for the rest of the week? Or what do my guides have to tell me? And, most of the time you'll get a card that jumps out, and that is like, eek, pay attention. Or if nothing jumps out, you just shuffle. And we all got our own way of shuffling. We all got our own way of connecting with our cards. So just practice, there's no wrong or right way. So just feel what feels good for you. And, look into that card, feel that card, have a look at the visuals and see, does it, ignite anything within you? Do you see any visuals in your mind's eye? Do you hear anything in your ears? Do you feel anything in your soul? That is a good indication of what kind of clairsense is coming to play. So, feeling crystals, you feel energy. Doing Reiki is a great way to learn to feel energy, manipulate energy, and just essentially just being better on a whole. So those are kind of examples that are good ways to really connect with your intuition.
That's amazing. I love that. I think music is one of my favorites. I can listen to music all day long, and I'll always put music on depending on my mood. If I'm in a crappy mood, I'll like some meditation while I'm doing work. If I'm in a really happy mood, I'll put more of a live, fun song that I can continue on singing or doing something that makes me happy and more. Angelique, if anyone else wants to get a hold of you or they want to connect with you, how would they do that?
Absolutely. So what I'll do is I'll actually put my Instagram and Facebook handle in the comments below.
Yeah.
But you can find me on Facebook under Abundant Moon. You'll see my pretty face. And then also on Instagram, it's Abundant Moon 111. So otherwise, you can also go to Calendly, Abundant Moon 111, and just book a session. I'd love to read for you, and I'd love to connect with you. So thank you.
That's amazing. I love it. I don't really see anyone online right now. Maybe someone else will be coming in shortly at some point, but because you're here with me, can you pull out a card for me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will do that. Okay. So, okay, hold on. Okay, so they wanted me to mention, Nish, before we move on to this, I don't know, I think someone's going to be able to connect with it, but, and, okay, like when I do my readings, especially, like amazing things that have happened. I know that was part of one of our questions, but consistently I need to speak up about it. Okay, so if you don't mind, I'll just do like one experience like that happened recently. Okay, so there was we've got beautiful neighbors across the road, and you know, we've known them for about a year now. So they invited us over. We were there. This is the second time we got invited, and for privacy's sake, I'll use Paul and Nancy as their names. So, and yeah, Paul and Nancy. And so Nancy knew, you know, what I did. I did oracle cards, but she didn't know the depth of what I was doing. So we're sitting there, we're eating dinner, and all of a sudden the lights start flickering behind me. And I'm like, oh, damn it. And I'm eating my food. And within this 10 seconds, this all happened. So I was connecting with the soul behind me with the lights flickering. I hear Paul saying, I don't know why these lights are flickering. I just bought them and they're LEDs. And he's very upset. And my husband's like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing like LEDs. It shouldn't. He goes, but you know, it's probably one of Angie's friends, and bursts out laughing. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, don't do that. They're not going to invite us back again. So then I just look at him and goes, oh, it is one of Angie's friends. Oh dear Lord, give me strength. And then Paul was like, what, you invited your friends? I'm like, no, honey. I'm like, they come whenever they want to come. So I had to explain to him what I did, and with his permission, you know, let the message come through. And the message was so beautiful. It was his father that came through, and he had such an important message. Now, for spirit to manipulate electronics is very, very hard for them to do. So if they want a message to come across, they'll manipulate the energetics, so the electronics. And we were going through, he was very precise. The evidence was crystal clear, and he's Lebanese, and I don't know the language, so it was very difficult for me to pronounce the words, especially the names of specific family members, but they came through and they were clear, and he was completely blown away. And I'm like, okay, but he's showing me who he is. I said, but there's a specific car. Now, as I said the color of the car, he said the same color at the same time, blue and white. And we both just looked at each other and like, oh my God. And he's like, how do you do that? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just relaying the message, what your father is telling me. So it was such a beautiful experience. And the message that came through was very intimate, and, you know, something that he needed him to know. And as soon as I delivered that message, the lights stopped to flicker. Stopped. And he's like, wow. But it gets better, Nish. What happened was I showed him what it was like to communicate with the soul, okay? And that there was nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing to fear. I showed him how I connected, and he felt what it was like to connect with his father. So he's very big with clairsentient as well as the clear hearing. And a few days later, he came to me and said, Angelique, you're not going to believe it. I'm like, what? He says, my father came around again. I'm like, no way. He goes, yeah, the light started to flicker. I'm like, wow. I said, what did you do? He goes, I closed my eyes. I just took a deep breath and I just said, Papa, I'm ready. And he said, my father spoke to me, Angelique. And I'm like, oh my God. Nish, it takes people so long to be able to connect on a mediumship level. But because I showed him the platform,
Mhm.
There's nothing to fear. And this is truly what I also bring. I really want people to understand that there's nothing to fear. We all have this ability. We just have to tap into it. Now, just imagine what a beautiful world this has been. We wouldn't fear death. We wouldn't fear, you know, our loved ones leaving, because we can still have that direct line with them. So, that blew my mind. That was just so beautiful and exquisite. And it was just so humbling to experience. So they wanted me to say that, because I feel that there are a few people that freaks them out a bit. So, just to put them at peace and give them comfort. So,
That's
yeah,
beautiful. That's so
yeah,
beautiful. Kind of
you're
reminds
welcome.
me of the way that I look at things in a completely different way. I get them by dreams.
Okay, beautiful.
I get them
Yeah.
by dreams. I'll dream that I was pregnant at the time with my little one, and
Okay.
my grandma had passed away almost 10, 15 years ago. She came in
Wow.
my dream and she told me, she goes, "Don't worry, don't worry. I'm coming to your home. There's nothing to worry about. I'm coming to
I
your."
love
So for
it.
that reason, I felt like as if my newborn, my baby girl, is my grandma coming back. And just recently, I asked a question. I'm like, I don't know who my older one is. I don't even know where she's from. I don't know what she's coming from or what's going on with her. And then a few days ago, I got a dream of my other grandma that had passed away. And I'm helping her with some stuff. I'm grabbing her, and then, I'm helping her with whatever that she needs. And I'm telling people I can see her and she's right here with us and I can see her. And nobody in my dream can see her but me. And I would say, okay, lift my hair. And my grandma would lift my hair. I told you, she's here, right? Like no one else can believe me. And then when they started to believe that she was here, I see her going back to a young, like a baby. And somehow she's being brought up now as a baby. And then when I was talking to my mom about it, she goes, "You were asking who your older one is. It could be that she's here with you already. You don't even know about it." I'm like, "Oh my God, it could be," right? Like it's weird, but they come to me as dreams. And
Mhm.
sometimes I'm just like, yesterday I was just looking at her and I was just kind of mesmerizing her. And all I could see was a light, a beautiful light, a beautiful feeling. And the energy was so, I could feel such good energy towards her. And I'm like, it could be that she's back with me. It could be, right?
So family, especially immediate family, they don't tend to come back is reincarnate souls in our immediate family. So
Mm,
what they tend to do is come back as guides.
guides, yeah.
And I've got a lot of family members that are guides with my kids, and and I feel this is what it is. So yeah, I feel the older one. She's with the older one. Your older child, right? Yeah,
Yeah, could be.
yeah. I feel she's with the older one, and yeah, and that's what they tend to do. They're there to protect them and guide them until the time is right for the next guy to come in. So that essentially happens. But that's beautiful. And it's great because coming through in dreams, they just help us to understand and almost create another reality for us to experience,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, which is so beautiful.
yeah. I tend to kind of put my dreams together sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know what this means. It does not make any sense to me. So I'm just like, and no, I don't think it's probably I'm too tired or something. And I know that those dreams are just tiredness dreams and it's just ridiculous. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's very rare that I'll get those kind of dreams. But when I do, then I'll be like, okay, this one makes sense.
there's a reason. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
meaning. And it's also very good to go into these dream I think it's dream.com or something like that, where you can actually interpret dreams, because while you're reading through the explanations, something will ring with your soul.
Mm,
And when you get that feeling, it's like, this is what it means.
mm,
And, it's also if you're watching something that day, that tends to, manifest, but you
yeah.
will know, you can feel the difference. The next
Yeah.
morning, if it's consistently on your mind, it's like, dang it, I need to check into that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly.
never like, just, ignore those kind of dreams. So,
Yeah.
but that's beautiful. I love it. Okay, my love. So I am going to ask you um, if you can pick a number, just pick a number 1 or 2.
Two.
I knew it. Okay. Alrighty. So the deck you've chosen is Rebecca Campbell.
Rebecca Campbell. Okay.
Okay, Rebecca Campbell, work your light. Okay. 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 So yeah, so just tapping into your niche, I can actually I can feel like a lot of like a little anxiety coming through. It's like almost like anxiety but excitement.
If there's anyone that is live here and would like Angelique to also do a card reading for you, let us know so I can let her know that you're here. She's just doing one for me right now. And if you are around and you're watching, just let us know on below. Let me know that you want a card reading, okay?
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Thank you so much. And also, Nish, I'll also be doing a lot of these on my Facebook group. So
Awesome. I'm going to post it all up.
Yes, I'm going to start incorporating that. So, okay. Let's connect. Okay, so I'm just asking, what would Nisha's soul like to share with her today? Okay. Okay. So the card that came out was answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? You can't make this stuff up, Nish.
I asked you that question.
Oh my God. Okay. Now, also, I look at the back of the deck, and the back of the deck, which is very rare. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So let's tune into this quickly. Okay. Yeah. So you see, Nish, and you know, when I tune into this card, this girl she's like a multifaceted being, which you are, just sitting on the ledge and just admiring all the beauty that's going on around her.
Yeah.
And you know, when this happens, I'm sorry, just bear with me one sec, Nish. I'm so sorry, my kids. There's one over there, okay? Okay, just give me a few minutes, okay? I'm so sorry. The joys of working from home. Okay, alrighty. So, and so this is who you truly are, Nish. You are this multifaceted cosmic being that is truly an immense amount of power within your soul. And truly the world is your oyster. And this is why you're having an issue with trying to do too much at once, because your soul knows that you are capable of doing all this stuff. And it's like you want it done now. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got goosebumps. Okay. And
All of it right now. Right now.
Right now. Yeah, right. Like now. Okay. Are you a manifesting generator, by the way?
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hello. That says a lot about you. Okay. And, you know, and the truth is not a lot of people will understand you. Not a lot of people will understand your reasoning behind what you do. And that is totally okay. It's totally okay. And once you also come to the understanding that not a lot of people will understand you, and it's okay. But I feel one of the biggest lessons that right now you almost need to embody is pause.
Yes.
Just like this beautiful being is sitting.
Yeah.
Okay. She's pausing and she's looking at the universe. She's looking at her bounty. She's looking at what she's created. Taking pause and being grateful for being in the here and the now, and understanding that I did this. When you get to that point and truly, truly embody what you've created, and truly embody with being okay to do nothing at specific given times, that is a lesson that your soul is trying to bring through. Okay. And they want you to know hustle, hustle, hustle. You've been conditioned to believe that. Okay. And that conditioning comes from, I feel, also very, very young, like wanting to win at sports, wanting to be the best, wanting to always be first, wanting to be heard, wanting to be seen. So
Yes.
it's like
Have you
you
read my book? I think you
consistent
know
fight.
it.
Okay, no, I haven't read the book yet. It's second.
All there, it's all
It's on
there.
my list
Always wanting to be seen, always wanting to be first, always wanting things to
now.
happen my way,
Wow.
always wanting to be known, always wanted to be the classroom, the one that
Wow.
always wanted to be the popular one, but never got there, never tried there, but always want. Even at work, I remember, we would all be in at work and they were doing like who sells the most credit card. And I used to be the one, and I used to like, who does this? I used to be, I used to make all the money out of that. Like I used to, you know what I mean? Like, um, yes, that was me until I learned how to slow down. And that was the most difficult thing in the freaking world to do is how do you
Exactly.
slow down?
It is. And have you had your reading with Haley Corticus yet? Your human design reading?
Yes, I did.
Okay. That also, that blew my mind with, how accurate the soul blueprint is. And it almost just gives you that, aha. Okay,
No,
this is
everything was right. It was like as if I would get an instinct of like an idea, but I don't get
exactly.
the full thing. I get like a little bit. Then I get a little bit, another one. I'm like, okay, now
Exactly.
what do you want me to do with this?
I
So
know.
I start to maneuver things in it, but it's like, no, you're going in the wrong direction. Wait, you'll get more information in a little while. But I just take it and make it into a big, huge thing. And then, you know how I told you I slowed down and I thought about it. It's like, oh my God, like, yes, I did do the whole podcast thing. I did write my book. Okay, those were the right directions I went to. And then the coaching wasn't like, it was something that I needed to do to learn the basics of it. But Nish, that's not where you needed to go. It's a different direction because you got the download of coaching, you got the download of the information, but I didn't get the full download. So I became a coach and it's like, no, Nish, go back. I went back. I took several steps back and there was things that I've always been telling my husband or everyone else. It's like, I wish I knew what I knew 20 years ago. I wish my kids would know what I know now. So I could talk to them, I explain things to them. I do things with them I never knew. Hello, you've always wanted to be a teacher. You've always wanted to work with kids. Why are you not doing that?
There we go. There we go. And as you were talking, it's truly, this is especially manifesting generators and generators. We experience life through trial and tribulations.
Yeah.
And this is what you're doing. You are going through the trials, you are going through the tribulations. And later on in life, you are going to give your children and create a legacy of almost like not even a blueprint, it's just how to experience life. This is what helped me, this is what didn't help me. So you're going to bridge that gap to allow them to experience a lot more, a lot quicker. So you are essentially going to help them jump time, basically, through all of your experiences. Okay. And this is what it's about. It's leaving this legacy behind, but not burning yourself out. Okay. You truly need to, and this is what you've done. You've given yourself that time to slow down, to take pause, and to understand and go back to the roots and let everything else around you happen. You don't have to be in everything to allow it to happen. You have to let it happen. Because I know you like to fix. I know you want to be the one that helps someone elevate, that helps someone be the best that they can be. But sometimes understand that you have to let them happen. You have to let them experience it themselves.
So true. So
Okay.
true.
This yes card is saying, yes, we have now answered what you wanted. So now it's time. Hold on. To connect with nature.
I've gotten that a lot with me. I've gotten that a lot. Oh
You
my
need to get
God.
grounded. You need to get grounded because you're all in your head at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
are so in your head, and it's just trying to find, you're reaching outside of yourself. Okay, maybe if I did this, maybe if I do this. No, you need to just
Yeah.
quiet,
Right.
take a
Yeah.
walk, get grounded. So, you're allowing yourself, your sensitive energy, to really connect with Mother Earth, so you can allow your soul to come through and really speak with you.
Yeah. I've heard of, I've gotten a lot of readings like that, saying the same thing, connect with nature, connect. So I've been taking walks and, like I said, pausing, taking deep breaths, hugging trees. It's been great. Slowing down. It's all been there. And I think the one thing that's really getting me to concentrate right now is these amazing podcasts that I do now for a beautiful woman out there and men. So thank you, Angelique.
Oh
Thank
my
you
gosh,
so
thank you.
much. Oh my God. Again, if you want to connect with Angelique, Angelique will put everything in the comments down below. I'm excited for you to connect with her because she is an absolute charming beauty. Her soul connects directly with yours. You have no idea. She's done this with various women with all my clients that were with me doing Change Your Way, Change Your Life too as well. And she connected with a bunch of them too. So I just don't know what I would have done without her. She's a beauty, a definite beauty. Other than that, thanks for everyone that did come out live. If you were here, and if not, then I hope you guys get to replay this. And if you do, let us know you replayed and let us know what you think. Love you,
Absolutely. Thank
Angelique.
you so much, Nish. I love you, and it's such an honor to be here, my love. Take care.
Love you too. Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
You know.